All right. Good morning. We're going to let everybody just sort of trickle in. It's always the best way in these things. There's times where I wish we could edit. We could edit these beginnings because sometimes you'll just sit here for a couple minutes of silence as we get things kicking off. Nice to see some owners in here already. Always nice to be joined by Crypto Kitch. You got a busy day today, Kitch, or you want to co-host with me, or?
I'm definitely down to co-host, but I'm also going to be presenting.
Oh well, yeah, you're going to be presenting, of course, yeah. But you're, if you were an executive in the front office of the league commissioner, I think you'd be the director of banter or cross chat. You're really good at keeping me on track.
I like that, but for cross chat, can it be like an X, just X chat?
No, because that there's actually somebody who runs all of my conversations with my exes. So
Oh, true. That does
that's
get confusing.
yeah. But yeah, so I'm still in Vegas.
You sound like it.
No. No, I just sound like I woke up very recently. That's all. But thank you for noticing. Yeah, no, usually, you guys get a full day of my, dulcimer tones that come out. And now you just gotta ease into it with me.
Yeah, it
But
looks like you were awake at 5 a.m. your time, and guess just woke up around 9. I would imagine.
somebody's keeping tabs. But yes.
I'll talk with the X's later to find out there. We'll cross-reference our data.
Um, the flight was supposed to leave at like, I don't know, 11. It got pushed to 1. I went and showed up. It never told me that it had actually been pushed to 4. And I was like, fuck that noise. So um, I just bumped onto a later flight for the day. Came back to the hotel. Ratro was finishing up work, so we played a couple hours of craps, did very well. And then he went on his way, and I took a nap. So all worked out. There was no mad miss yesterday, um, by any stretch. But hey there, Chris Truman. I'll add you up. Uh, just so you know, Chris Kitch is running the banter session of it, and we'll because Chris is right there at the beginning. I guess we'll probably start out with cat moms. Why not? We'll start with cat moms. Um, and so really today is going to be a fun one. It's not really going to be about me so much, which is weird because, of course, normally I'm the center of all attention in the threesomes world. But today we're going to hear from somebody. I would imagine, I would hope that we deliver somebody from every team of all of the 7 existing franchises, as well as the new unnamed, unrevealed franchise that'll be kicking off season 9. So we've got 8 ownership groups or individuals who own teams that they purchased over the last couple of weeks. And we're moving into franchise era. So they're going to run their organizations, their teams, the way they see fit. And in doing so, players who either they choose to play for them or that end up playing for them um, are gonna have to sort of understand team philosophies and team policies and team expectations. And so today we'll get a little hint at what all that will be. So I don't know. I went ahead and I didn't meet with any of the team owners to prep. I kind of want to just leave it to them. This is sort of a dry run of like, who are you and what's your organization all about? So my guess is we're going to hear 8 very different approaches. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the teams is just going to say, "Hey, we's going to be fun" or something like that. I don't know, but we're going to see what you got. So what I'm going to do is we'll just go kind of franchise by franchise. I already said we'll start with cat moms, just out of deference to the ladies, uh, and so we'll let Chris tell us, whatever you got. You got open mic, open floor, and then we'll take any questions that anybody might have, and you got to be ready for some follow up. And of course, as is Grotto tradition, we won't have any questions. Is that about right, Kitch? You think we need to kick it off any other way?
I love it. Let's get it going.
All right. So, Chris, go ahead and unmute and tell us about the Cat Moms, what you guys have in store, and why people might want to play with the Cat Moms.
Yeah, hey guys. I'm actually about to park, so there's going to be a little noise for about 2 minutes. You could have kept talking there for a minute. So I'm a cat mom from the beginning, and I played on the team during the last team events, and we did really well. I believe we came in second overall. So when we started putting together these team franchises, I pulled over some of my buddies from Basefish Mafia, who are now in the Grotto and very active members, and we formed an ownership DAO with the BFM members. There's going to be a lot of training involved because this is a fairly new ownership group, and a bunch of new players, but also a lot of enthusiastic players. So our plan, we've got some good strategy that's already developed, and we're going to set up some training to kind of help people understand the complexity of the project. We've got some good communication channels that are already active, and so that's kind of going to be our approach. We're looking at being the Oakland A's of the franchise era, and I know a lot of teams are saying that, but I think coming from the Bay Area, I think I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and so that's going to be our strategy. We're going to come out strong, so you guys are going to have to see what happens here. But we're looking for some players who want to be active, who are into communication, and who are going to show up, and be a good part of it. Also, we realize that this is a complex project, and it's going to take some time for people to understand what they're doing. So we're not as much relying on some of these the deep wallets of some of the long-term holders, but we're looking to build on what we have right now.
So I'm hearing over and over again this concept of sort of education and guidance. Am I right? It sounds to me like you're hell bent on explaining the complexities of this project.
Yeah, that is correct. What I found, especially with bringing over some of my Basefish Mafia buddies, is that coming from typical PFP projects, this one is definitely more involved and involves a lot more strategy, a lot more choice and options, which is great because it's created a ton of value for all of us. But at the same time, it can be a little confusing for newcomers. So we're going to help walk them through that, and we're also going to figure out strategies for us to work as a team to get things accomplished rather than just a bunch of free agents that are kind of lumped together.
Okay, I like that, and I can speak for you and say that you're coming with your Basefish Mafia connection. You mentioned them quite a bit, and knowing that project as well as I do, that's really one of your focuses. Are you saying, or rather, would you say that a lot of your roster is going to be made up of Basefish, or are you open to anybody?
No, we're definitely open to anybody, especially existing Grotto members. We've talked to some people in the DMs about coming over to Cat Moms, and we know that there's going to be a little bit of shakeup with the free agency and with the draft. But we're looking for people that are willing to integrate into that that kind of ecosystem. We will recruit further members from BFM, down the line as we get them kind of up to speed as well. But we're also going to pick up some Grotto members, to get us going.
Okay. I noticed Alp Doty, Ali BFM is here, who's also a major holder of Basefish. Looking to see just quickly if there's anybody else. Did you want to bring Ali up, or hi there? You're welcome to come up if you got something to say. Otherwise, we're going to move on to a different franchise, I think.
Yeah, Ali, come on up and say hi. Ali is our primary owner, and this is the only female-owned franchise in the whole league.
Love it. I'm very proud of that. It's actually one of my goals at the beginning of the franchise era, and Cat Moms came up and made it happen, which is great. So hello there, Allie BFM.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, this is. We already have complaints about my voice. That was the way we started this out. That I
You sound like you had a
sound
good
like
time
I'm
in
in
Vegas, for sure.
Well, I've been known to.
Yes, I know. So yeah, I am very proud and honored to be one of the owners of Cat Moms with Chris Truman. I think he's being a little bit modest. I think he's one of the stronger holders in the Grotto, and I'll just say that we're all excited to be working with him. So I'm also proud to represent the women in this baseball franchise. I'm not
It's
sure
huge,
if
right? It's really great. I love that. And we have a small contingent of lady collectors. We try to grow it, but I'm really hoping that you're going to sort of spearhead that for us.
yeah. Well, I encourage all of the women here to send me a message and we can chat and hopefully work together. And I think the Cat Moms are definitely here to play, so y'all better watch out.
Love it. Spoken like a true Midwestern girl.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Cat Moms. Well, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and release you guys. And way to kick it off. It's hard to go first because you haven't heard how everybody else is doing it. You don't know how deep their presentations are organized. You don't know what they're going to be saying. So thank you for doing that, for being the first. Now let's see. I'm looking down. I'm just going to go ahead. If you're a team owner and you are like time crunched or anything like that, just go ahead and request, and I'll get you right up. But what I'd like to do is go back now. Now that we started with the first one who requested in the first female group, I want to go to our very first franchise. If Jolby, with Crypto Cactoid, who's principal owner of the Series 2 NFTs, are you free to come up now, Jolby? You want to request and let me know? There we go. Perfect. All right. So Crypto Cactoid.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Floor
Yeah,
is
I'm here.
yours.
Actually, Crypto Kitch is a part of our ownership group, and he is our spokesperson. I'll be happy to do some addendums. He's going to be the primary speaker.
Oh, excellent. Good
Yeah, so
deal.
I'll kick us off threes and then pass over to Jolby to fill in any gaps.
I had a feeling you guys were going to be very prepared, so this works perfectly. All right, Kitch, take it away.
Yeah, so like Threesome said, the NFTs were the first team to be minted on the blockchain, the one that started it all. So when you think of iconic threes cards, you think Dot Pigeon 001, X Copy, Pack Scratch Off. Over time, these team cards have grown to be the most valued and coveted pieces of the Threesomes universe. So we're trying to embody that. And the people depicted on our cards are the only ones that actually exist in our world. So, it's kind of tough asking Bob Gibson or Pepe Frias for a collaboration, but the people depicted on our cards could end up becoming part of the plan. So I do want to let you guys realize the powerhouse that is this ownership group that's been brought together to form the front office and our connections to real NFT artists. So kicking off with Jolby, Crypto Cactoid, you may know him as Threesome's own contract developer, but he works with many artists throughout the industry through Cactoid Labs and has big plans for how to grow this brand and make it a household name. I would be remiss not to mention that his wife, Lady Cactoid, is also a well-respected curator and advocate for artists, and we'll be able to tap into her knowledge as well for consulting purposes. EJG, our general manager, is a legend around the Grotto. Only been working with him for a short time since we became ownership partners. He's demonstrated a great wealth of knowledge around how we should manage such a large endeavor, and he's been delivering a lot of analytics that's going to be pivotal in our success down the line. Smoothie should be well known by everyone at this point, but if you don't know, very talented artist. He's going to be putting his skills to use for promo videos and overall aesthetic design for our club. And as an artist himself, we'll lean on him for anything artist relations wise. And then in conjunction with Jolby, these two have been known to throw quite the event. So just wait and see what we have planned there down the line. In addition to that, we have Biscuit Flipper, bringing his deep knowledge of consumer marketing from companies like, I don't know, maybe you've heard of Disney or Facebook. a couple large cannabis farms as well, and he'll be stepping in to become the marketing director and go-to-market strategist. So with this being such a large role, we are accepting applications to run our social media accounts based on his operational plan. So we are accepting applications for that position. And then myself, Crypto Kitch, I'm part of a podcast called That's Nifty. We've interviewed over 70 plus artists throughout the space, 4 of which are depicted on our team cards today. So I'm stepping in as the media and communications director. And I think with our team's combined influence in the space, we'll be working directly with artists to build out a brand that would be impossible for any other team to replicate. And now I'll kind of let your minds wander, but imagine things like mint passes, whitelist spots, special events, things like that. So if you want to play for the NFTs, we're going to be a team that works hard during the season to achieve our goals of winning the championship. And we're also going to build out a brand that brings important eyes to this project as a whole and create value for our players and fans alike. So a brand like no other team. We are the NFTs. Mint your spot in history.
Jesus Christ. I feel like the whole project was just acquired by like Yuga Labs or something. I mean, that was the that was the slickest, most prepared, and I'm not gonna say corporate, but it kind of was had a little corporate flair to it. But
Well, we
Jesus
plan on
Christ,
being the
Kitch.
Yankees. We're the Yankees. We're the Cowboys. We're the Bulls. We're not playing around. This is not Oakland A's stuff. No
Whoa,
shade to the Cat Moms at all, but we're looking to build out something large and in charge here.
here comes the testosterone, and I feel like I need to go clean up my facial hair. Jesus, we tight ship is in place. I love it. I really
And
do.
Joelby, anything I missed there that you'd like to add in?
Oh, it's perfect. I mean, it's everything we covered. Yeah, we've been communicating closely as an ownership group. We're really excited to bring back, as many of the really strong members that we already have on the NFTs, and yeah, we're definitely looking to recruit players and win. At the same time, we've been communicating with artists and doing events and planning stuff already. So yeah, we're super excited about franchise mode. Thanks, Kitch. You covered it perfectly.
Yeah, very well done, Kitch. Very well done. Uh, I realized just quickly that I failed to offer the floor to questions ceremonially to cat moms. But if anybody has any questions for cat moms, you want to request a speaker or raise your hand, or if you got any questions for the NFTs, we'll do the same thing. Of course, we all know the answer, but we're open to questions if anybody has any. And it wouldn't be um, untoward for the questions are open to the public. So even if you own a team yourself, you can still ask questions of these guys. Hint, hint. But of course, as is tradition, no questions are being asked. You guys. Well, thank you, Kitchen Cactoid, and good to see Smoothie in here. Hell of a franchise. I hung out with Smoothie last week. Um, the concepts and the ideas that they're already coming out of the gate with are wonderful. Oh, we have our dear friend Lucha Abracadabra. Do you have a question for either of these two franchises?
Yeah, I
Luch?
just who wants to be the Yankees is what I would ask the NFTs. Who really wakes up and goes, I just want to be the guys that bot my way. I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's fun to front run, whatever, but like, I don't know. I'm just
So we're not the deepest pockets. I wouldn't say that we're going to be running it in that way. I was thinking more of the authentic brand name that everyone recognizes across the world.
okay. So not the Yankees.
I'm pretty sure you go to any country, that logo would probably be picked out of many others as being recognizable.
I'm gonna throw you some monsters digs here. So I'm just saying. Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening to your pitch. I got you.
You'll have your chance. I mean, think Jay-Z wears the Yankees cap, right? This is we're at an old brand in a modern organization.
Right.
Okay.
Which one's Jay-Z again?
Sounds more like the Red Sox is what I'm hearing, but yeah.
We'll see at the end of the first season how it turns out. I mean, the Red Sox did win the first World Series, so
okay.
You never know.
Oh, look at that. Joelby dropping knowledge. I love it. I love it. He was prepared. That was a great comeback, Joelby.
Thank you.
Just let's pretend that 1918 to 2005 didn't exist.
Rebuild, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, you know what? Since you're up here, Luch, you got a little time to tell us about the monsters?
Yeah, one, I didn't know this was going on, so I don't have my elevator pitch for who the monsters are, but like if you want to join the Grindhouse team, the one that has the staying power and the one that people are always like that's your guilty pleasure, like that's where the cool is, that's the monsters. Like if you look at like this, like do we separate the players from the entities that are there already? Like I mean, I would think people would rather be with iconic visions like Karloff and Lugosi and things like that before, and even a Blackula before, wanting to be artist number 13 who just happened to be in NFTs before everyone else and may not be as good as everybody says they are just because they got here first. Anyway, no. So who are the monsters? We're still trying to figure out what this whole crazy franchise era thing is. A couple owners, Tex and Paper Buddha, all different people, but all similarly aligned. And just like for when I got into this collection, there was never a doubt in my mind that the coolest, best looking aesthetic like thing was the monster collection. Like just the application of through the history iconic cinema looks applied to baseball. It just resonated with me. I do some movie reviews. I'm a Monster Vision watcher from Joe Bob Briggs through the time and stuff. So that's why that team resonated with me. From the actual franchise play, there will be a little bit of all in good fun ribbing, but like we just want to get people together that are enjoying the ride here and just vibe with the idea of being the cult phenomenon type group. Just like the 80s blob is, just like Blackula is. Like it's something that is going to stay in your mind and be the cool, in my opinion.
Very well said, and right on brand. That you're the one that's here and you still didn't know about it. So that's I appreciate that.
I mean, I still don't know our budget, so whatever.
There it is.
We're running into free agency and whatever, and I have no idea what the hell's going on, and I don't think that's my fault. But
this is becoming a running gag between Luch and myself, and it goes something like this. This is how it would play out in the real world. Well, Luch, the currency is called $1. Okay, but how much is that worth? Well, it's worth $1, so just run with it. Just go with it. No, but I need to know exactly what $1 will get me. Just know that you get $1.
Well, no, it's like, okay, you're going to sign players in 3 pennies. Right. How many do I have? You'll have 5 years worth. Great. What does that mean? I don't think you paid attention to the way you describe it.
Well, what Luch is missing is that one of the longest running franchises in classic monster movie history is Abbott and Costello meet the monsters. So this is just an Abbott and Costello bit now at this point.
If you were to reapply the High-Waisted Brothers to an Abbott and Costello meet the monsters, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad play.
I'm with Luch on this one. Like, come on. I think tomorrow we're supposed to be meeting about some tokenomics, right?
I would think so. Yes.
Or Friday or whatever.
Yeah, it's tomorrow or Friday. Yeah, we're determining stuff. But regardless, it's not that hard a concept to understand. We have enough. We have enough. So
enough.
So how about we don't spend too much? There you go. Easy enough. Well, thank you, Luch. And so, look, I'm going to say this: a couple things, a couple comments to what you just ran us through. This leadership group now, Luch and Tex have established themselves as quite the force in real live Grotto events. Okay, two of the most joyful and easily entertaining and opening, welcoming. God, I'm stumbling here, but you guys are just the best to party with, right? I mean, as far as just joy and mirth and I love hanging out with you guys. Paper Buddha has come in. He wasn't with us in New York, but he's coming in the last 2 Grotto events with a certain dedication to the craft of partying. Okay, and so we may hear about some other teams talking about partying, but we have to give the monsters their due. I mean, we're talking 3 like powerhouses in the real life Grotto scene. So don't sleep on that part either. Just gonna throw that out there. I'm gonna boost you up a little bit there because it has to be said, and you didn't say it yourself.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and I mean, like, monsters are for everyone, right? Like, it's always like the outcast people that get chased with pitchforks and torches and stuff. Like, we've gotten a lot of DMs of people interested, and of course, I don't know how many pennies I have or how many people I can bring on, but we just want to get our team together and have fun with them.
Yeah,
be part of the icons. You talk about NFT artists, but like if you could be part of the Mummy, you're talking thousands of years of history here. So
thousands of years of history.
Forget the blockchain. Like, start a guy.
You do have quite the historical background between the Mummy and Dracula and Loch Ness Monster. No question. I brought up threesome subs.
1 sec, Threes. Beeps has a question and wanted to know if franchise owners can. Oh, go ahead.
No. Yeah, hit me up. I believe that I brought up subs because I believe they have a question, but hit me with the Beep question.
He wanted to know if the franchises, as they come up and talk about their front office openings, if they have any.
Okay, well, yeah. So this is a young man who's looking to make his way in the organizational side of the league. You guys that are up here, do you have any openings?
I don't know. Supposedly part of our ownership group has talked to the people that we thought were going to do a thing, and then we still don't know what our budget is or what we offer them or whatever, and I don't know if anything's locked in. So that's monster style. I don't have the kitsch pitch deck, but if you're interested in a position, let us know and we'll put it there.
I like kitsch pitch.
Kitsch pitch actually could end up being. You got to start trademarking that thing because that could actually end up being a thing.
I'm gonna buy the ENS real quick.
Well, don't take Tornado or Porsches over divorces. Those are the other 2 I'm working
on. Threesome subs. I'm guessing who you are, but do you have a question for these franchises?
No, just making sure that we're prepared and queuing up in line. But everyone's presentations have been sterling, so I'm just trying not to dry heave with nervousness.
Well, that would be the voice of our dear Ron O'Mac, who is cutting his teeth on the threesomes world by owning a franchise. One of a couple major holders who's decided, you know what, I don't understand the program, I don't understand the process, I don't understand the project, but I understand that I'll give you everything I have to be a part of it.
This is the Bruce Wayne on the Justice League whenever Flash goes, "What's your power?" And he's like, "I've got a lot of money."
I wish that were the case. No, this is like everything else. I stumble through making love, yet my wife appreciates me, and I've managed to make 2 children. So here we are. Do you want me to go now, or is that
please?
Okay, beautiful.
Hey, sub, begin.
Yes, sir.
Begin.
Subs again. Okay. So listen, I think everybody gave some great presentations. The thing I listen, especially as maybe a newer person, is I would be concerned if I were some of the members, is there going to be a real place for me on some of those teams? And I want you to know that there's not only a place for you on the subs, but a home. We're approaching this thing strategically, as I'm sure everyone else is, but our goal is truly to maximize the concept and the formula that Threes is putting out for us. And, that means everything from a hyperactive Twitter to building brand awareness, quickly moving into merch so that you have a way to display the pride for your team. And as the season unfolds and plays, you'll be getting the wonderful opportunity to learn how it works, just like your idiot owner, me. The good news is we have some fantastic people to shepherd us through the process. We have Brendan, who is a rock in the community, and Mikey De La Creme, who many of you may know, and will hold our hands and spank our bottoms as we progress through this season. We really want to have a mix of some of the veteran guys with great wallets, and we want to be a place where some new people can come too and develop and contribute and feel like they'll have a voice and it'll be heard. Our philosophy is, we can go fast alone or we can go far together. And we do want to do this thing together. It's really important that it's a family fun atmosphere, but we're gonna get shit done too. And I know everybody's been throwing out like a team comps, whether it's the Oakland A's or the New York Yankees. I'm really feeling like 86 Mets, right? Like, blowing dusty lines off a dirty locker room urinal, but then somehow still going out and winning a championship. So I think the goal for us is to grind, have a wonderful time doing it, and in that process, really establishing ourselves as a player and growing the subs to be something that exists outside of the self-contained universe, but contributes in a very meaningful way.
That was beautiful. And I have to, I mean, a lot there to comment on. The thing that I have to say that just screams out at me is that the gentleman with the Louboutin in his mouth and the dog collar is telling me that it's going to be a family fun environment. Do you want to address that one real quick for me?
Yeah, I mean, when I say family, it's that there's no judgment. You can come be your freakiest, most degenerative self. If you need me to put something somewhere for you, I'm not even going to bat an eye. Insertion will occur with expediency. The overall vibe, look, it's inclusive and we want you here and we're going to work together. Now, clearly, the brand itself maybe isn't family friendly and we don't plan on making it so. But I mean, who wants to conform? If you want to go, against the grain and pivot your own way, which we are going to do, this is the place you want to be.
I love it. What a great response. Thank you. Seriously, Ron, thank you. This is what I get excited about. Okay. Look, there are only 8 teams out there. 7 of them we know. The eighth is a mystery. Okay. But there's only specific brands, and maybe you look at something, you're like, I'm not sure how I'm going to brand coders. I'm not sure how I'm going to run with this. I'm not sure how this plays out. And I think we have a situation here with the subs where you know an organization can be run in a specific way that doesn't necessarily mean that they're running it on brand. Okay, we didn't hear Ron O'Mac come up here with the tropes of slave and the tropes of submission and all of that, and it's really cool. I think that we're going to see that these are autonomous entities, and they'll play with it. We've already seen some of the branding Ron O'Mac's got. We see his Twitter, which is very much on brand, but it just goes to show you that you don't have to be a cat mom to be a cat mom, right? So,
well, bottom line is I don't want anybody to think they have to get, pegged or whipped to be a sub. It's a bonus. I mean, if that's what you're into, this is the place for you, but not a requirement of full participation by any means.
Well, I appreciate that. I do, and it's great. So. Do I need? Do I? Are you? Is there something? Have you been under duress this whole time?
Can someone please send help?
Amazing.
Oh, Ron O'Mac, you are a god amongst men on many levels. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, that was perfect. Okay. Okay, that's a great way to start our morning. Um, all right, so we were any questions for the subs um, before I bring up Toucan Nifties, and I'll give Toucan a little. Do we? Let me make sure he's still here. Um, God, if we lost Toucan now, there you are. Okay, sorry. Okay, you're invited, Toucan, if you can come up. And so Toucan Nifties is. Oh, we got Jeff. Sorry. Okay, add you. That's where the shuffling came about. Um, yeah, it's hard to keep these icons going. So, Jeff, 3-2 in the Grotto, and Jeff other random numbers here on Twitter. But so Jeff has come to us recently. He again, is sort of along the Ronomax side where doesn't really have a history in the project, but likes me, likes what we're doing, and was adamant that he wanted to be a part of this. And so, I don't. Do you want me to give an intro to the X's, or would you like to just pick it up and run with it, Jeff?
Yeah, I can just pick it up. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, we got
Awesome.
you.
First off, I want to, thank the entire Grotto community. I think, it's a really special place. Obviously, I wouldn't, made this type of commitment if it wasn't important to me. Want to thank Threes. Want to thank Toucan, who, without him, he's the Sherpa of this whole project, right? So, I think the thing about the X's, how is it going to be different? I think our goal is probably a little bit distinct from the other teams. What we're working with here is probably one of the most geographically and culturally diverse groups of people who are involved with a single team. And it's our goal to really try and leverage that power of all of these disparate cultures, disparate geographies, people in different areas, to really bring the awareness of not only the threes whole entire ecosystem, but also the X's team in a very organically grown field, right? We want people to bring it to Indonesia. We want people in South America. We want people in North America who can really run with what we're trying to build. And I think that's a little bit different. We also are taking an approach of as owners trying to be really what I like to call long-term greedy. We want to build a valuable platform, not just for 1 year, 2 years. We want to really be able to grow intelligently over the next 5, 10 years. And I think that we've got this ethos of wanting to make sure that the players on our team feel like partners and really align with the overall goal of trying to create the most valuable franchise out there. So, with that being said, we're currently developing what we think will be an interesting economic construct where all non-owner players who come on the X's are going to be eligible for a profit sharing program above and beyond the agreed upon salaries that we all negotiate throughout the next number of weeks. But we want everyone to feel that they've got a deep ownership staking, wanting to make this successful, not just for this year, but for many years to come. So that's going to be the approach. Toucan, you should come up and say hi. This is your baby, so please.
Yeah,
Hey guys.
if you can come on up, Tuke. Hey there. Great.
Yeah,
So
hey.
let's hear it, Tuke.
Okay.
First of all, I just want to say, that last bit, we'll touch on it some more, but
Yeah.
yeah, I want that to just sit with everybody that's in here, and if you're listening on the recording too. It's a really special thing that we're going to be sharing profits with everybody. So, but Tuke, tell us your side of things.
First of all, I just want to say, maybe you guys don't know, Jeff, because he's pretty new to the Grotto and stuff. But I talked to him, and then we discussed quite a lot of stuff. And you guys should know that he believes in threes. He believes in the project. That's why he wants to build this team for the long term. And then and we decided to take this team into like pretty much Indonesian centric. Because like as you know, in the Grotto we have Indo Grotto and we have quite a lot of Indonesians there, and with the number of potential with with the big market that Indonesia has, then it's going to be very good for the future of the project. That's why I already like we like I personally already did a few meetings with a few of the Indonesian communities, and then we are gonna partner with them like for the future of the access, and then like we're gonna do a lot of collabs for, and then we can like we have the community that's gonna support the access in the long run. And personally, myself, like I'm gonna dox myself as well. Like Indonesia, I am an entrepreneur and I have a clothing brand here, and I know that the merch will be done like very like early at the early stage of the project. Like I want, like if you know the Axis is well known for the cap, the Axe logo. Like we want to build on that. Like we want to the Axe logo to be known throughout the space that we are the Axis, and we can uh, build this team to like a championship winning team. Like maybe we are not like the whale. Like we don't have like a lot of, because the owner is only like me and Jeff, and Jeff is still new. But like for me personally, I worked with monsters before, and as you know, uh, like we do have the capability of like bringing good players and then good strategy to be the championship winning team, and 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 for job opportunities, like for our front office, we do have 4 spots to be filled, and I already talked to a few of you guys, and we're just letting you guys know that we are open for applications, and we want to work with you, and we want to partner with you to build the access. That's all from me.
I love it too. You know, it's important to me because we've got this community that really, and Toucan was the first. He approached me out of nowhere. You know, he came across one of the paintings and was like, I've always been curious about baseball cards, and I always wanted to see what this is about. So he reached out, and we just started this friendship and this collector, you know, artist relationship that's really deep, and it's really part of the growth and success of the Grotto, I feel. And he immediately, once he got his feet wet and sort of got his footing, he immediately started bringing in friends and really exposing us to what's now known as the Indo Grotto, but the Indonesian NFT community, right? And it's been a big part of our growth, and it's big for me. The biggest part of it. It's from there that I get the messages that tell me about how, you know, how thankful they are that they have a project that they can count on from an economic growth standpoint, right? They know they can, that their investment in the NFT side is safe with us and has a really significant return. And so we have a number of Indonesian collectors who are able to sort of drive an economy around things by buying and selling and buying and selling and building up better collections and then selling them off. And it really is sort of a stream of revenue. It's just a part of the economy of Indo Grotto. And so even as I initially set about, you know, seeking ownership and putting it out there, I always had in the back of my mind that I wanted an Indo Grotto team because I felt that it fit right into a lot of the ethos that I have when it comes to market strategy and pricing control and added and constantly growing value. And I think that this franchise is really going to show at the grassroots level how that plays out and how it matters to us as an organization overall as threesomes, right? But it's particularly as that team of the X's, where it matters that everybody who's participating in this project has potential growth to it. And so, you know, Jeff coming in and understanding that and Took on the ground, assembling that group and putting it together. I think it's just a remarkable franchise, and I'm really excited by it. And as you heard already, I mean, there it is. Took's like going to roll out merch, probably beat everybody to the punch on that, and build a real brand around it, which is, for me, I just like giddy at the concept of, people just running around Jakarta wearing X's caps as like a fashion statement. I love it. So, you guys got anything else for me, or we, as far as Jeff and Took go?
We're good. Appreciate the opportunity, man.
We're good.
Okay, absolutely. And for those that don't know, for the time being, I'm serving as a consultant to get them rolling a little faster, perhaps, and certainly on some of the organizational strategy side of things. So it's like I said, from the get go, the Indo Grotto team was really important that we put in place. So thank you very much to Jeff and Toucan to making that happen. Any questions from the floor there before I bring up somebody else? We had Saguargo here from Door Gang, and he's had to step out. He wasn't able to hold. He had something come up in work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to speak for Door Gang, okay, for the time being. So Door Gang would be the coders. And for those that don't know, Door Gang is a collector community that's pretty hyper-focused on the speculative play on things, but also very entrenched in sort of the upper tier of NFT artists. And there's only 65 members. There can be no more than 65 members at any given time of Door Gang, because it's centered around a 65 piece edition or a 65 edition piece by 6N5, right? Who's an artist from Barcelona who works in the architectural design side of the NFT world, right? He's a very established architect, or their group is. It's a group, but the person who's come to be known as 6N5, is sort of the head of that. And there was a piece that came out in an April drop last year, part of a really cool drop by 6N5, but it was of a door and sort of the chain lock side of the door, moving around itself, and it became this iconic piece for this group of collectors, and you have to own one of them to be in it. And I've been lucky enough to be in Door Gang since, what would it be, since like August, I guess, of last year. We have quite a Door Gang group in Grotto that some of you don't know. I mean, there's the Door Gang guys who have the little icon next to their name and stuff, but also Ratro has bought a door, and Chandru bought a door. Buddy Fox was our first Door Gang member, and then of course at this point we have, so Buddy, Chandru, Ratro, myself, and 13 others. So 17 of the 65 Door Gang members are in the Grotto, plus Dot Pigeon. Dot Pigeon owns one. Blau owns one. Fuck Render owns one. Okay, so it's actually very well connected to what we do as far as a community and even our projects, right? So the Door Gang approach to running the coders is actually going to be very is going to be very centered around Door Gang. For the most part, they're looking at a way for their members to collect and be involved. They're involved in many projects, but they'd like to have sort of representation in our, pardon me, in ours, and have it sort of organized and run that way. I'm not sure why I'm beeping here. 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, it was housekeeping. So anyhow, it's going to be really focused around them coming together and being able to play together. So even going into season 9, they're really not looking to acquire too many other wallets or too many other collectors. So it's going to be a really interesting play to see how a team that is kind of, I mean, I'm not going to say they're external. Like I said, we've got quite a few established Door Gang members in the Grotto, but they're going to be run as a whole entity. And, as we go forward, I think we're going to see this happen from time to time, where outside projects will come in and buy a franchise to give their members, exposure to a new project. So it's going to be fun to watch the way Door Gang happens, because that's going to be our first one where, they don't really have, they're not out there looking for new recruits, because they have a very contained approach to things. So be fascinating to see how that plays out. And of course, Saguargo is our most contributing member of the Grotto. He's in it every LFG. He's very in depth. He's going to be the GM. And this is just one of those. It's kind of like Basefish Mafia, where they've got a DAO already in place. There's Door DAO, and they're the owners. So they have voting structure and things in place that'll just allow Saguargo to make unilateral choices when the time comes. So interesting play there. It's a very different approach. Anybody got any questions on that, which maybe I can answer? Otherwise, we're going to roll on to our next franchise.
Quick question. Was that housekeeper wearing a latex bodysuit? Because the subs had arranged for something for you, and just want to make sure you didn't send her away prematurely.
Actually, no, but it did remind me of the scene in Lost in Translation, where I don't think she was a housekeeper. I think she wanted to give me a massage. So I don't know. That could have been arranged. I appreciate that, though, Ron O'Mac. She was not.
I'll send a follow-up text. Don't worry.
Okay, so who's anybody here representing the Cardinale, which I would imagine would have been D-Bot Cherry, but perhaps we have some issues around scheduling there. So look, I can go ahead and speak to the Cardinale. They've won 2 championships in 2 attempts. They're sort of a powerhouse, and yet this may be telling. They have a shadowy billionaire owner who is not very hands-on, except for his pocketbook. And so it's the only franchise that's owned by a single individual. He allowed for some of his players to have nominal token souvenir stakes, and yet guaranteed them no representation on the team. Very strange setup. Very much run in the sense of decisions being made and broadcast by a puff of smoke from a chimney, if you know what I mean. So it's right on brand, but they are all powerful, never been outspent, never been outclassed, sort of cult-like in their following. The Cardinale have a number of players in the Grotto who walk around saying on a day-to-day basis, Cardinale for life, Cardinale for life. So we'll see how it plays out now that we're shaking things up, and there are more options. But it's sort of like that idea that for 2,000 years they were kind of the only game in town, and we're going to see what happens now that we have a little more enlightenment. But that leaves us, I believe, I hope I didn't skip one of my teams, but I believe that leaves us with our newest entry into the franchise world. They go by the name of Season 9 right now. They are a yet to be announced team, and they are owned by Ratro, who I've just pulled up, I Need Beer, and Dino. And so, Ratro, why don't you tell us your plans and why somebody should want to play for the Season 9 team? You got to hit the mic is on button. There you go.
All right, first I want to apologize for how I might sound, because it's been a rough few days. I did just wake up also. So as 3s just said, our ownership group comprises of myself, Ratro, I Need Beer, and Dino, which is he's also in here in the spaces as 333's collector. And I believe our 3 wallets were probably in the top 10 of collectors. And
yeah, no, all 3 wallets. As far as an ownership group goes, you guys have the largest wallet base,
right. So and as far as our team mascot, we don't know yet, right? So we're known as Season 9. But as far as branding, I want to announce this is going to go to our team philosophy, but we're going to be known as the lifestyle team. I mean, that's our goal. And now, when I say the lifestyle, some people in the grotto already know that when we say that, we're talking about real life grotto events. That's another arm, I guess, of this project that down the line we'll probably focus on, right? Like, I guess your goal is one event almost every month, every 6 weeks, maybe somewhere in that area. So, I mean, that's what we're going to be focused on. And I guess I have a reputation like, yes, we're the party guys, and we definitely are the party guys. And that's what we're going to do. Like, we might not care about winning championships. We might lose 9 seasons in a row, but we're going to be the team that just throws 9 parades. I mean, that's the kind of philosophy and that's the kind of team we want to be. So, our team might not be for everybody. We're mainly looking for people that can and want to show up in real life events and are social, know how to act, behave, respectful of everybody. You don't have to be a party person and drink and get drunk and get all crazy, but just enjoy that social aspect of meeting people, wanting to be in events, not wanting to miss out on things. So that's the kind of thing that I want to develop on our team. Also, with that being said, the lifestyle is not cheap, right? I mean, it's not cheap at all. And as owners, we're not like we don't got money, and we can pay for ourselves to be there, and we can understand that maybe not everybody can afford to go out. So that's also another thing you want to look at if you want to join our team. So with that, I think we might be the first, or I mean, nobody has said this, but to play with our team, it's going to be a pay to play sort of thing, where we're going to have a monthly membership fee. So not seasonal fee, monthly. And the ownership group has decided that fee will be $100. $100 fiat. It's going to be payable in USDC. We're not taking Tether. Sorry, Tether. But yeah, and that money will be put in to a team fund that everybody can see. Now everybody's going to be asking, yes, even the owners are not exempt from this. We are also going to be putting in $100 each to build up our war chest, to fund partying, and sending people representation to every lifestyle event going forward. I mean, and ultimately our goal is we're going to be the first team that's going to be 10 or more deep that show up entirely as a full team in real life. So um I guess I covered that. Oh, so then people might be wondering, well, what if I start on your team and start contributing, um and then I'm not able to play on your team anymore for whatever reason? If we get to a certain size, we understand that yes, we may not be able to protect everybody, and then they go on to another team. But they're like, hey, I've been contributing to for 3-4 seasons in a row, 6 months. I put money into this fund. What's going to happen with that? Well, if you start with us and you're already contributing to your membership, just because you go to another team and we couldn't protect you and keep you on our team, you will still be qualified for all the giveaways that we give out or whatever we use the funds for. You will still be invited to partake, giveaways, parties we throw, for as long as you keep continuing to contribute to our monthly membership fee. All right. And so I also want to announce, you got to give to receive. So for season 9, right, membership fees will be starting next month, which is April, May 3rd. Our fees will be due every May 3rd. Qualifying founding legacy members, that's going to be a big thing. If you start with us from the beginning, you're going to have a special place. Obviously, there's going to be priority as far as being protected and how long we're going to keep you and how important that's going to be. But if you pay your membership fees for May 3rd, June 3rd, you'll be qualified to enter into a competition where you have to declare that you are free to go to NFT NYC. They're going to spin the wheel. And that's for the plane ticket up to top dollar value, $750, coach. And that ticket also gets you a bed in whatever live grotto that we have, because as owners, between the three of us, we own 333 swipes, and if you own a 33 swipe, you automatically get qualifies you for a bed at any live event, so which is transferable.
I believe you own 4
Oh yeah, we
swipes
own
between
four.
the
We own
three.
4 out of us 3. So, and one of our owners is under 21. So for the next 2 years, he cannot even use that utility. So there will always be extra room for those type of things on our team. So if you qualify and you say you're going to go, you need to go. You buy your plane ticket the day you actually show up. So you can't scam it like, oh, I'm buying your ticket, I can't make it. You get flight credit, all this stuff. No, you show up the day you show up. I'll be there. I'll hand you. You show me the receipt. I'll hand you your refund, and there you go.
All right. Well, so I've got a couple questions.
Okay.
Yeah. And you might want to mute for a second. You're a little scratchy there, cowboy. Okay, so you're telling everybody that in order to play for you, um, that they're going to have to pay a monthly membership fee, right? And that starts next month, and it's every third of every month going forward. So, how are you going to handle it if you draft somebody who's not willing or isn't comfortable paying something like that?
Okay, like I said, it's not for if down the line we do end up drafting somebody, that's obviously we're only going to draft people that want to come and agree. In the beginning, if nobody, like, I could be wrong, and people would be like, this guy has the audacity to be telling people to come and give us money and play, and maybe nobody will do it. And season 9 is ready to just play with us 3, you know, and that will be, and that's on me, and we'll see what happens. But like, if down the line, like I said, we're winning championships is not the first thing and foremost, but if we do need to draft people to, because we're running and trying to win, and we bring them on our team, well then yes, they're not gonna, obviously we can't force anybody to give us money, but yeah, they're gonna play to help us win, but they're not gonna be entitled to any of the benefits that go with that wallet and what everybody's contributed on. They'll play, and obviously if they didn't want to be, we're just probably just using them in a 1-year contract and participate on that aspect, you know.
Okay, so have you been in touch? It sounds to me like you're just looking to establish that you're on board with this approach. Are you in touch with other people already? Have you talked to
Oh no,
to
I people that
members?
even reached out to me and were asking like how to be on their team. I wanted to be a surprise. I was telling people like, well, after you listen to this spaces, come talk to me and see if you actually still want to be and play for us.
Okay, I mean, fascinating, right? This is what I'm talking about. This is a whole other approach. So this is somebody this is a team. Now I will say this, okay? Ratro is the only Grotto member, or no, swipe holder, right? The only 33 swipe holder that has attended every in real life Grotto event, right? You're the only team owner who's attended every one. Um, and that includes, of course, New York, Miami, Boston, and LA, right? So there's something to be said about the dedication of season 9 to the real life experience. I Need Beer has been to 3 of the 4. You've been to all 4, and there's often talk between you guys of never missing. I gave a pass for Boston. I said that it wasn't an obligatory event. Okay, so a couple of the big guys have missed that one, but for the most part, you and I Need Beer have certainly shown that you're in it for the long haul on the real life side of things. So it makes perfect sense. I think that becomes your focus. It'll be interesting to see how you guys handle your team as far as players and wallets that are connected to the team, because I don't know. We'll see. We're going to see if people are going to understand everything you're laying down, and how long it might take for people to say, you know what, $100 a month is actually very worth it for what we're getting in return, right?
Oh, yes. I mean, right. It's just I don't know. Like I said, we're guessing, but this is why like this type of team might not, like I said, it might not be for everybody. And if you're the type that you have a very strong wallet and you're like, I want to get compensated for it, I want a high salary, that's all that matters. Well, yeah, we're probably not the team for you. We're more about, we're going to be more about everybody's, kind of getting an equal share out of everything, but we're just trying to focus on what is it, the party aspect. So, and I don't want to say like, you guys might think I'm being greedy and everything, but I would also say, besides yourself, I don't believe that anybody else has given away more free stuff in the grotto than myself. So that is also the type of
Oh no, I mean, look,
mindset, and like that I will be running the team from too, right? It sounds like I'm being greedy, but I'm far from that, being that type of person.
I'll step up and say that, during Miami and New York, we had we streamed all the live events and had a lot of participation for people that couldn't be there, to let them know and feel like they were a part of it. And I think Retro gave away $10,000 or $15,000 worth of stuff in New York, and another 5,000 or so. Retro's been very, very generous in not just the giveaways, but just if anybody in the grotto needs anything, he's been the guy. And so no, I'll step in and say this isn't great at all. And when you ran it by me, as far as playing within the boundaries of good taste, none of this money. This isn't money that's going to be in anybody's personal wallet. They're not paying the ownership group. They're literally just amassing a war chest to be able to fund their lifestyle. So no, this isn't greed at all. I don't think. It's quite the opposite.
Yeah, Retro gave me his gourmet spicy by X Copy, so I was really appreciative of that.
Hold on, big guy. Let's not tell any lies, please. Let's not.
JK, he has given me stuff before, though.
I think that he's given everybody in the grotto something at some point, and not just the Valentines. Everybody's been touched by Retro's kindness at some point. So, anybody have any questions for season 9? All right. Well, now I'll open it up to questions for me. I appreciate everybody coming up. And we know the answer, that nobody's going to want to ask me any questions. We did have somebody just, show up and request while I was talking, while Retro was talking. I didn't tap on it and they left. So I'm guessing that was not a significant interaction. But really appreciate everybody turning out. I think this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun listen, right? So I did manage to hit the record button, which is very helpful. So we'll be able to post this and have people listen. And I do urge that everybody on every franchise share it and get it out there, and tweet about the fact that this really is going to give you some insight into what we talk about with Franchis3, with 8 very different approaches, okay, to the way we run things, right? So with that said, we'll close it down. And
hey, Threes, can I make a quick comment?
Oh, of course you can.
Can you hear me okay? Can I make a quick... Okay, look, I just, listening to everybody speak, I hope anybody that is from outside the grotto and hears this understands the magnitude of what's about to happen here, and the thought and energy that everybody is preparing to put into this, because it's a really big deal. And if you are in any way have ever thought about exploring what this project is, now is the time that you really want to finally take the leap, because we are on the cusp of doing something that has never been done before, and it's incredibly exciting.
It really is, right? I mean, it really, really is. It's for me, it's very special because obviously I conceived of it, and we've been building towards this. But even though it's a running joke now, and Luch thinks it's hilarious. There are times where I really do ask my collectors to trust, right? And I'm fortunate that I've really earned the right to do that now, right? I've managed to deliver on the things that I've asked them to sort of blindly get into, right? And this is one of those where, um, a part of the project, a part of the fun, is understanding the way things play out. and putting together all the pieces. And as we build this franchise era, we can start looking back at all of the stuff that we learned as a collector group, as a community, that brought us to this point to enable all this to happen, right? And so this has been in the works, and it's now at the point where the people who have taken that leap with me, as Ron said, are now in a position to build their own level of trust with their own communities. And I hope that I've managed in the last 10 months to sort of lay the groundwork for a project that allows for some fun and some revelation of things that we didn't realize could happen in the space, right? And happen in it because there's that enticement to just take the leap and go with it. And so now we get to do that eightfold, right? There's going to be 8 different groups saying, hey, we've got a vision. Can't lay it all out for you. There's strategy involved, and there's reasons behind not just saying, here's the guidebook, there you go. Okay. And that's a part of the fun of the NFT space.
And threes, to piggyback on what Ron was talking about, like for people that are outside of the Grotto, it's been exclusive for a little while now, but it'll be opening up soon. It'll be a good time to just hop in and either try to build up your portfolio by winning those public drops and joining a team down the line as a free agent, or there's also the play of just coming in and trying to win public drops and selling those cards to all these degens that want to win the championship. So there's money to be made and there's fun to be had. So once those doors open up, come hop in, spectate a little while, get a feel for how things work, and make some money while you do it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, if you're talking an NFT project, the cost of entry, okay, as we move into this, if you're outside of the Grotto, you've never been in the Grotto, you've never been, maybe you've registered for the occasional public drop, or you got the occasional insert or something like that, or you collected a piece on secondary because that was cool. But to get involved at the franchise level, okay, to be a free agent, which allows you full access to all the inner workings, okay. You don't have to be on a team in order to play, right? You can play as a free agent, but it's going to be $200. That's the cost. That's less than pretty much any mint pass, pretty much any membership pass, or which is sort of a thing out there now, right? It's certainly the less than cost of most entry level NFTs in any sort of project size thing, right? And so it's a nominal price to pay to then become a part of the project and see how it goes and see how deeply you go. And the nice thing is, any of the pieces that you do pick up as you're a free agent, even if it ends up that it's a little more commitment that you wanted, it's not for you. You want to be more passive with it. You're like, nobody's ever lost any money on something they bought on primary, right? We've never had a primary sale that its secondary sale went for less than the primary. It's just that simple. And so, it's a decent place to get your toes in there and figure it out. And it's a lot of fun. And as you can tell, from this group of owners we talked to today, it's a hell of a creative space. And so, no, thanks for saying that, Kitchen. It's right. Here we go. We're days away from opening up the doors to the general public on some levels, and saying, come on in and see what this is all about. So with that said, we'll go ahead and call it. I appreciate all the owners coming up, and I appreciate everybody that hung around. Some of you from the very get-go of this conversation. So I appreciate all of you. And I'm going to take my flight to New York here. It's now pushed back to 2:00. But hey, I'll be home someday. And tomorrow we've got a 4:30 LFG. And owners, look for some communications from me on when we're going to have a league meeting. All right. So I will see everybody tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all of you.